What the heck does Star Wars and the autumn equinox have to do with one another? Well, they're all about balance. You have the dark side and you have the Force. You have the Jedi Knights and you have the Sith. And they bring balance to the galaxy. So the autumn equinox brings a very similar energy. You have equal parts day to night, lightness to darkness, because the sun is right above the equator. So in the northern hemisphere here, we are approaching fall, and in the southern hemisphere, you're approaching spring. The autumn equinox brings abundance. And there are two significant ways you can bring in this abundance into your life using the energy of this week. But you have to do these two things. The first one is balance. We find balance in our lives with all the aspects. People are multifaceted. We have our work, we have our play, our travel, our extracurriculars, our hobbies, we have our kids, our family. We have these different parts of our lives, and maybe we work multiple jobs. So take a look at your life this week and see where you're putting a lot of energy and time and emphasis into, and see if you can take some of that energy to put it towards maybe self-care. Maybe towards your family and not so much at work. If there's an area of your life that needs a little maintenance, that needs a little cleaning up, this is a great time to do that. Maybe your house needs cleaning up. Kind of think of it like spring cleaning. We want to declutter, we want to start anew because we're going into a new season on earth, but also a new season of our life. The second thing is gratitude. Being grateful for what you have, and being grateful for what you're calling into your life. When my husband and I finally made the decision to put our lives together, we had been through almost 2 decades, well, it's 2 decades now, so 15 years of trying to figure out how to be with one another. And there were times where I was chasing him, and there were times where he was chasing me, and there were times where we were just so far apart. I mean, it was, if you've ever seen the movie Serendipity, that was definitely my husband and my story. So finally we made the decision to put our lives together. And when we first started dating, like in 2010, I had a journal and I wrote about him all the time, and I wrote about this future life I wanted. Sometimes it included him, sometimes it didn't if I was upset. It depended on the day. But a big portion of this journal was all about him. And as I was unpacking my stuff after we moved in together, and this, mind you, this is over 10 years later, I'm putting my books and my journals on our shelves, and I come across my journal from when we dated. And I opened it up and I was reminded that I now have the life that I was dreaming of back in my early 20s. And here I am in my mid 30s now, and I'm like, wow, did I manifest this, And I was overwhelmed with the biggest sense of gratitude. You know when you get like goosebumps because you just feel it through every cell of your body, an emotion? Well, I was feeling gratitude through every cell of my body. And I was reminded that my dreams come true, my manifestations come true. And this is the thing about divine timing, if you want to call it that. It doesn't always happen when we want it to. But when it does happen, remind yourself that this was the dream once upon a time. You're living in your dream from, last year or 10, 15 years ago in our case. And as badly as I wanted it then, I couldn't see what the divine knew. What I didn't know at the time, thinking it's so unfair that I didn't get what I wanted, was that I was going to have a son in that time that we were apart. And I mean, an incredible, incredible human being. He would have never happened if I would have got my dream when I first wanted it. So sometimes we have these dreams, we have these things we're trying to manifest. We're throwing out to the universe and saying, please bring this into my life. Why is it not here yet? But I promise you the divine has a reason why it's not here yet. So when I talk about abundance, calling those things into your life, whatever abundance looks like for you, I really want you to focus on what is your purpose in this world. That's what you should be harvesting right now in this harvest season. Harvest what your purpose is. And if you don't know, that is what asking God is all about. Prayer is asking. Meditation is listening. So when we pray, and sometimes our prayer is, I don't know what to pray for, so you show me, you tell me. And then we listen. But so often we forget about the listening part, and we just expect these things to just kind of fall in place and happen in our lives. But we have to be the ones taking the steps, because we're human beings, and that's how the 3D world works. And you can sit here and say, well, I live in 5D. You can live in 5D for a little bit when you're dreaming, when you're in meditation, when you're in those altered states. But you still have to come back down here to 3D living, where we have to work towards things, where we have to set goals and intentions and work towards them. Once you find your purpose, once you start living in your purpose, you find that you're not asking for things, you're not begging God for things, because you find that you no longer want for things. Everything you could possibly want or need is here. And I know that's hard, and I know it's like, I'm gonna learn manifestation so I can win the lottery. I've been there. Who hasn't been there when they've gone down the manifestation rabbit hole? But that's not how God works. And once you get to the point of fully living in your purpose, you won't even want to win the lottery, because things are coming to you so easily and things just flow. Like it's just not a part of your existence, because all of these other things that you're working towards become the reality that you want, that you didn't even know you wanted. That is what this life is about, is living your purpose, finding your soul, finding God, remembering, because we come down here and we have amnesia. We need to remember who we are, because money can be gone tomorrow, but the consistent is always the divine. When we connect, align to our soul, we are connecting to God. We are doing our purpose. We are shedding light on this planet. If you think you're a light worker, maybe you are. Wherever you go, you bring light with you. Maybe you're here to keep people grounded to earth. Or maybe you're here to help people ascend. Or maybe you're just here to do it for yourself, or to do it for your children. But you won't know unless you ask and you listen. And you will find that the things that light you up the most as a child, as an adult, those things actually have a lot to do with your main purpose here. What are the things that light you up? Start there. I'm Victoria. Thank you so much for joining me. If you left a comment last week about my son, I really appreciate it. He's doing as best he can with the heart that he has currently, and we are very grateful, and I know he'll live a long life. If you're interested in working with me, my book is open for October. I have a mentorship program, and I do Yoga Nidra, which is a very deep meditation. It's very healing. It helped me with my trauma, which is why I pursued it, because I want to give this to others. So wherever you're at on this planet, happy autumn or spring equinox. Peace be with you.